15 with Jasmine Burke, where I will be having 15-minute conversations with some of the world's most talented people about their first experiences in the business, their first auditions, their first hard industry lessons learned, and the first time they knew who they were as artists, just to name a few. All in hopes that artists all around the world will realize that you're not alone, it's possible, and stay encouraged. Make sure you follow me at the Jasmine Burke to keep up with these insightful conversations.
Hey, first 15 with Jasmine Burke.
Wrote Work Your Audition for that reason. It's motivation and taping techniques to help actors book the job. That's what we all want to do, right? We all want to book the job and work and make our dreams come true. But we need the tools. We need tools. We need instructions, direction, motivation, because the journey gets hard. The journey gets hard. You get a lot more no's than you will yeses. But that shouldn't make you give up or stop. And the thing that has helped me is learning the right tools to apply to my craft. And that's my prayer for Work Your Audition. That anyone out there who is an aspiring actor, an aspiring artist, and even if you're already a professional working actor, so it's my prayer that Work Your Audition will help bless many, 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 many careers. Work your audition. Don't let your audition work you.
Okay, Dennis, thank you so much for taking out time in your busy schedule to
No problem.
interview on First 15 with Jasmine Burke, where we're going to be just talking casually about your beginnings in your career. And hopefully everybody that hears it can learn some things and know that if they're in the beginning of theirs, that they can get through the ups and downs just like you did, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So everybody knows you. You're a multi-talented artist. You help other artists. You coach them. You have excellent classes. Tell us a little bit about your classes that you offer and the training that you give so that some of the people that are watching this can look you up and come to you if they need your services.
Sure. So my company is called Act Like You Know. So it's actlikeyouknow.org. And I started this company almost 10 years ago. It was a vehicle so that aspiring actors can get the knowledge necessary to be a working actor. And it's from trials and tribulations that I've been through. And I've taken a lot of different concepts from Stanislavski, method acting, even the Chubbuck method, and kind of combine them to make it user-friendly so that, it makes sense.
Right.
So, my process is to help my actors get a job. So I do private coaching from celebrities to first-time actors, across the board, across the country. And my classes are really intense. And I come to your level. If you never acted before, I don't make you feel out of place. I elevate you where you are. And, I'm like a proud father when my actors are working. So many of my actors, I get booking jobs lately. Is really crazy. I'm proud of that.
That's awesome. That's something interesting you said, that getting to the work. And sometimes when you're in class, you're learning all these techniques, but in the back of your mind, once you start getting out there, you're like, how do I make all of this work for me?
Yes.
And so don't give it all away because y'all got to go to the class. Y'all got to go to class to get all that. But just one thing, where the mentality shifts between being in class and getting the techniques and then getting out there and applying it to be able to work. Because that is two different things. And I don't think you understand that.
Well, one process, I tell people, it's similar to working at McDonald's. When you go and flip a burger, you don't get 25 cents for every burger you flip at McDonald's. You get your check at the end of the week, or in the 2 weeks, and that's how it is with acting. You don't get paid for every audition you go to, but that's part of the job. So you might go on 20 auditions and book one, but that one is sufficient enough for the other 19. So we have to think about it as a long game, as not, and instead of the short game. That's one of the things I teach them, not to get so caught up in just one audition.
Exactly. I talk a lot about that in my book, Work Your Audition, as well. And so working actors, we get it. Like, we know.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're out there giving your knowledge away, blessings to you, kudos to you. Now, how did you go from North Carolina, where you grew up, hosting television shows, to putting out music, then to being in television, and then being in movies, and then, as we all know, you played D-Rock in Notorious, the biopic, which I'm going to come back to that because I want to ask you a question about playing a real-life person and preparing for that. But I just want to go back to the beginnings, because a lot of people start in small towns, or they're not in LA or in New York. So how did you do it from a small town? How did you get started?
I always had an affection for acting and entertainment, and I always tell people, be big in your small city until the bigger city calls you. So while I was in school, I did every play that came in town, regional theater, I was in it. Every small community center play, I was in it. I was creating my own music. I was doing everything. It's a testament when people that grew up with me tell them, like, boy, I remember you was in that play. It was Cinderella in the Ghetto. I remember that play. Like, dang, you really, like, so it shows that you got to stay working. And so my first gig was called Swimming. It was a feature film, SAG film. I didn't know what SAG was in Myrtle Beach. And I stole my mama's car and went to the audition. and I booked it. And that just kind of gave me that bug where I like this. I like being on set. I like preparing. And so I went back and started working even harder. And touring, and then I looked up and got auditioned for it was a play called A Good Man Is Hard to Find, which is one of those gospel chitlin circuit plays, one of the bigger ones. And I got on as a young dude, and I toured around the country, doing plays. And so, but I still came back home and still did theater, still did music. I still made sure that before I left Fayetteville, people knew my name, for me doing that. And, that's the biggest thing, because people want to leave and go to LA and go to New York, but can't survive in their own city, and even coming to Atlanta, because Atlanta is Atlanta, Chicago, they're the next cities. So there's so much stuff going on in those cities that people leave their small towns to come to Atlanta and Chicago. It's like, I'm here, and like, it doesn't work like that. You still got to work, for the love,
Absolutely. So you started in local theater, community.
Yeah, community theater.
And you took what you had right there in your town, researched what was available to you as an outlet for your acting and for the arts, and you immersed yourself into what you had available to you locally. And then there, because that's the thing I always tell people, get started, get going. Because once you get in the groove, once you get in the rhythm, once you get into the community, you start meeting other people, and they say, this is going on over here, or I heard about this. And that's a lot of times how you get a lot of your information about what next steps should be, or leads into what's going on that you should be looking out for. It's just you want to be around people who are doing what you're doing. You want to be around people who are doing what you want to do. If you want to be a carpenter, be around carpenters. If you want to be an athlete, be around athletes. If you want to be an actor, be around actors. Go to auditions, go to meetup groups. I mean, just immerse yourself, like you said, in this entertainment field, because you want to breathe, eat, sleep it. Yes.
to be
Yes.
successful.
Absolutely.
You
Okay,
know,
so what was your first embarrassing industry lesson you had to learn the hard way?
when I was in New York, I was doing extra work, and for the Ali movie, they had this scene with him. He met Malcolm X, and so they asked me and my boy to play Nation of Islam brothers to be like Malcolm X right hand man. So I'm like, cool. So I mean, I'm right there, right next to Malcolm and Ali, and it's oh my God. I'm like, this is gonna pop. Oh, I'm about to. Oh my God! I tell my mom. My mom tells people at her church. Like she makes an announcement. My son's gonna do Ali movie, and when it came out, you saw maybe my nose, like, or maybe my elbow. It was so. It was so funny. My boys were like, "Hey, I thought you said you was in the movie. Like, where are you?" Like, so horrible. But I learned that, that when you do extra and background work, you're just doing that for the experience, the knowledge, and connecting.
Yes.
And, if you need to make money, for that. But you're not doing it to get discovered or to be, on camera, because your screen time is very, very, very limited.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Dennis. Whoa, that is a whole section right there. Like understanding what background work is and what your mentality should be towards it is a starting point. It's great to get that on-set experience, to feel the vibe of what a set is, see the pacing.
Yeah.
It's a good those types of things, so that when you get into that spot, you're not shell-shocked, like, oh my gosh, all this is happening around me.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be familiar with the arena you're stepping into. But then it's also a place where you don't want to get stuck.
Yeah, definitely. And, putting extra work on your resume is a big no-no.
Oh, please tell why. What if you're just starting? What if you're just starting?
So we all start with one credit.
Right.
So if you're auditioning for a project and you have no credits on there, they understand. If you're good and they love you and you fit the role and they book you, they don't care if you have 80 credits or 1 credit. So you having 10 background credits on your resume doesn't advance you. It actually hinders you. Only thing you should put on there is actual film work. It could be student projects. It could be plays. It could be regional. It could be local. It could be a church play. Anything where you're actually acting and speaking, yes. But don't put any extra work on your resume. Ever, 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 ever. Not even featured, none of that. Just don't do it.
Right. Wow. That was okay. Y'all heard it. Okay. All right, Dennis. Well, I mean, we could keep going on and on and on.
Oh man.
I mean, so we'll do this again.
Anything you want from me, I'm there.
Yay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. And tell everybody your social media websites about your class.
My social media is Dennis, L-A-Y-D-E-N-N-I-S, L-A White, like the color. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My website is www.actlikeyouKnow.org. So it's ACTLIKEYOUKNOW.org. I'm just doing private coaching for individuals. So if you're an established actor or you just want to get into the game or, you want to experience it, I do private coaching. You can go on my website and sign up for those classes. And thank you so much, Jasmine, for having me on your show. You're such an incredible person. Your work ethic, your acting acumen, your community service is just second to none. I really appreciate everything that you're doing, and I'm just honored to know you.
Oh, thank you so much, Dennis. Likewise, the feeling is mutual. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning into another episode of First 15 with Jasmine Burke. You can watch on YouTube, and make sure you're keeping up with the conversations by following me at the Jasmine Burke. Okay, see you next time.